everybody, to another episode of Thoughts from the Crawlspace. This is Jamie Miller with Gold Key Inspection Services. Today we have some special guests. We have Courtney Barber, her husband Cory Barber, and we have a couple of topics we're going to touch on today. But we're going to start out with a company they have started recently called CG Chemicals. I think I said that right.
Yeah.
But this is a kind of a revolutionary cleaning product that can apply to homes, to commercial properties, to you name it. They're going to explain it. So thanks for being here today. Thanks for coming and sharing your product. Cory, Courtney, whichever you wants to start, explain your company and what kind of products you have, and just kind of explain what they do.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and start. So like Jamie said, it's CG Chemicals LLC. We offer two cleaning products that basically, from the non-toxic point is kind of the big thing about our company. There's a lot of cleaners out there, a lot of different things on the market that will, suffice. But we try to strive for that non-toxic, environmentally friendly aspect. So with this opportunity, we were able to gain the rights, the formulas, the patents, everything to these two cleaners that will ultimately replace 98% of cleaning products. Mm-hmm. The great thing about them is kind of like you said, they can be used anywhere, whether it's automotive, boat, RV, home, inside, outside, you name it, you can use it.
This could be something as simple as you got mildew or something on, well, that's on plants, but mold growing on a window ledge.
100%.
Or a boat seat or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. So the surgical strike cleaner is the first one that we offer. And what that is that's an really kind of like your all-in-one. So dirt, grime, grease, mold, you name it. So it's going to be a cleaner, disinfectant, it's going to deodorize, if you have like pet stains, food stains, things like that. Mm-hmm. And it's safe everywhere. That's kind of the beauty of it. You don't have to question which cleaner should I use here. You can just grab surgical strike and it's going to be used everywhere.
Yeah, so it's like a multi-purpose type do it all.
Yeah, 100%. We went up against the big cleaners. When you walk into a store and you see the big variety, who's got the flashiest brand? Oh, that one looks good. I'll grab that one. But the thing is in the cleaning business, what we're learning about this is sometimes there's subconscious things that they do. Whether it's fragrances or flashy labels or good marketing, it kind of brings you in to draw you in to say, this is the best cleaner. Mm-hmm. Well, that's understandable. That's how business works. But the proof has to be in the pudding. And we will test against any one of those cleaners ultimately, and we have beat them out, years and years and years. To kind of backtrack a little bit, we didn't create these formulas on our own. Mm-hmm. I wish we could say we did, because it's a great thing. But ultimately, we were able to purchase these from the original chemist who created them. And he's tested against, again, all those different cleaners, those top of the line, what you normally see. We just had the privilege and the right to buy those and own those. And we turned into manufacturing those. So we do the manufacturing, the sales, the labeling. You name it, we do all of it. Outside of that, the other cleaner is also top notch when it comes to a cleaner and a protectant. So they can be used in conjunction. They can be used individually depending on the surface or what type of surface you're cleaning. So again, we have the surgical strike, which is kind of geared towards more like your stains, grime, things like that, mm-hmm. disinfecting, deodorizing. The nuclear blast, where that comes in, is that's still a good cleaner. It's a great glass cleaner. It's an awesome glass cleaner. But then we use it all the time.
Stainless steel.
All appliances.
All appliances, yeah.
That's the nuclear blast.
Nuclear blast.
Yep.
I love the name. Give me some of that to try.
So no, we appreciate that. The names, we were trying to figure those out. How do we reach people? How do we make that stand out?
Yeah.
But again, it's an all-in-one cleaner, so countertops, any hard surfaces. You can wax your car with it. You can, dress leather with it, clean your furniture. There's so many options. I always joke with people. I say, I can tell you a list of what it won't do versus how many things it will do, because it's just amazing how much you can do with just these two cleaners.
Wow. So surgical strike, nuclear blast.
Correct.
I love the names. They're very catchy. I think any guy would be proud to have something on his shelf in the garage that says nuclear.
Yeah.
It would be a conversation starter at the very least.
Right.
So this is a veteran-owned company. You spent time in the Marines.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your service,
Thank you
first of
very
all.
much.
And you have a heart for this business beyond just growing the business and making money. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. We'll kind of cover the names. Racking our brains. We're like, we have this now. Now we got to come up with names. What are people going to think of? So, we went from every end of the spectrum that you can think of on what do we call this. But we figured, hey, we have to go towards kind of that military, that veteran idea,
Yep.
and make it exciting. So we worked on that and made a play on those names. That kind of led us into the veteran thing, because not only are we in business to not only bring you great cleaners and make things easier for people, but ultimately, our big goal is to give back. There's a lot of charities out there. There's a lot of organizations that do great things for veterans. But ultimately, sometimes I have to look in my own society and think, where can I make things, better and happen around us, right?
Right.
So this is an opportunity to not only grow a business, put a few dollars in our pocket, be profitable business because we have a great product, but also how can we give that back to what we're doing and really give to those in need. I still talk to a lot of guys that I served with all around the country and a lot of guys locally. And the thing is it all comes back to the same idea, is that sometimes we just need a little bit of help, somebody to talk to, just a few resources. It's not always about a monetary donation. It's just about being there for those people. And that's kind of where we're building this business, so we can have those opportunities to work those different events or different, outreach programs, work with other people who are doing great things for that community, and try to make it better overall for just our society of where we can control that.
And I love that. That's what creates a society, really.
Yeah.
Helping one another. It's not just about making money. Obviously, you got to have a successful business
Right.
to be able to do things. It's not the people that don't have any money that are helping others, for the
Right.
most part. It's people that do, and
Right.
they can give. And so, speaking of business, talk about some of the hurdles you've had to overcome as you've started the business, maybe mentally, physically. What are some of part of our audience is business owners, homeowners, that kind of thing. So we're going to touch on homeowners in a minute, but let's talk to the business owners out there.
Yeah.
What can they learn from what you have experienced in starting this business? 3 years ago, I believe?
Just about 3 years. Again, so I'm also at Z-Bar of Elkhart, which we do car detailing, stuff like that. And that's kind of where I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, business owner, and kind of build up my own brand and my own thing. I've driven Courtney nuts with all my ideas and different avenues we want to go down. But where that really comes in is the people I've worked around, the people I've worked with who have done that, and they've exceeded expectations. I've learned a lot from that. So when we got into this cleaner chemical business, again, you walk into a store, there's a million different options out there. So we were like, we're getting into a pretty big market.
Yep.
Guys that are running billion-dollar companies. But it's kind of like that David and Goliath story, in a sense. It doesn't mean that you don't have a part in a place somewhere, somehow. If you bring a great product and you're trustworthy and you're honest about your business, you can fit in and do anything anywhere. We're not the type where, again, we will always mention this. We're not just here just to be profitable. We want to make a change, and this is our opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So yes, we are competing with a lot of different cleaners, a lot of different companies, guys that use things that they've been using for 15, 20 years or plus. It's hard to make that change to say, here we are. Because you're like, well, I've been approached by 30, 40 people over my time. what makes you better than them.
Yep. Absolutely.
But again, kind of speaking to the fact that, these chemicals we didn't create, but they were created, back in the early 90s, we know they've been around for a long time. One thing that kind of puts us up a little bit higher than most cleaning formulas is our surgical strike formula. That actually was a Bissell carpet cleaning formula for about 15 years.
All right.
So a lot of people don't know, but you've probably used our formula in some shape or form without even knowing that. Now we just have the opportunity to get it back out there and say, here it is. We're under a new name, but we have a new goal with the same great formula that's been working for a long time.
Okay. So you can, I'll just list some things and you tell me if it's something that can be cleaned by your chemical.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't land on one you can't, but
Yeah.
hey, nothing is perfect.
Yeah.
So let's say you have mold growing on your joist in the crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
You can take care of that. Which product would you use on that?
So that would be our surgical strike.
Surgical strike. Okay. What about you got green growing on the north side of your house on wood siding?
Surgical strike will take care of that.
All right. So it's non-toxic, doesn't hurt any, it's not going to roll off and kill your plants.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
What about
Very important.
Or if your pet gets on the grass, afterwards, it's not going to harm the pet.
That's a good point.
Yep.
So speaking of pets and carpets,
Yep.
what are we going to use for carpets?
Surgical strike.
Surgical strike. Okay. So you just mix it in with your water and like I guess you could just spray it straight on a stain.
Yeah, either or. You can do a straight use because it's ready to use. You don't have to dilute or change anything because the strength, it's already at highest strength it's going to be. But yeah, if you want to put it in your carpet cleaning machine, pressure washer, whatever type of device you're using, you can absolutely do
So
that.
it doesn't need rinsing after you use it?
Nope.
No.
Wow. I have to leave some of that behind.
Yeah, we can do that.
You do have a bottle of it right here. If you want to hold that up and show everybody what surgical strike is, I'm sure you have it in bigger quantities than
we do.
that.
Yeah. Again, we are the manufacturers, so we do the 16-ounce bottles, kind of more of the at home use, cleaning and stuff like that. When we start getting to more of that commercial use, higher usage, we have gallon, 5 gallon, and then we're actually working to get to a 55-gallon drum quantity that people can purchase.
I want a 55-gallon drum of nuclear blast sitting in my garage.
I would have cleaned my home forever.
That's awesome. What about roofs? Does it do anything with stains on a roof, or are the moss and algae that can grow up there?
Yeah, so moss and algae, we have done a lot of testing in. Whether it's I've done a lot in cars because again, I'm at Z-Bar where we do a lot of detailing inside cars, outside. So we've done a lot of that. And then we will go and test. We've tested it on our own personal, usages. So our fencing, vinyl fencing, our siding, which we have cedar siding. Roof, I haven't necessarily tried it on roofing, but because I know how much it breaks down everywhere else, I have no, thoughts where this probably wouldn't work here. Cement, yeah, we've done a lot of power washing and cement driveways, sidewalks, things like that. We have about 6 home cleaners who do that professionally, go in and clean people's homes for a living, that have said, you have the best product I've ever used, and I want more, and I want more. So
awesome.
Now they're changing over. We have 2 pressure washing businesses that are full-fledged, been around for a few years, that used to use kind of the bleach and water mix, kind of the run-of-the-mill standard, that have now switched over and said, this is way better, it's less work for me, and it's overall better for the client because I'm not spraying something outside of their house, again, on plants, trees, bushes, different siding substrates.
And bleach and water on mold on the wood is not a good combo.
It's definitely not a good thing. Yeah. Yep.
So speaking of homeowners, Courtney, you're a real estate agent.
Yes.
You're with, tell us who you're with.
Yeah, I'm with McKinney's Realty in Elkhart. We are actually very prominent with the Homes for Heroes, which is for veterans, police, firefighters, teachers, nurses, doctors, you name it. We help with the Homes for Heroes program.
So when you go to list a home, one of the big selling points is curb appeal.
Yes.
What are some things that these products might be able to be used for to help get that house ready to sell and maybe increase the value of what you get for it?
Yeah, I would say definitely windows.
Okay, yeah.
I know everybody hates cleaning windows, but literally with this cleaner, you clean it once with a nuclear blast and it's going to help protect from future bugs, rain, whatever, gets the windows dirty.
make it
Fingerprints.
easier
Kids'
upkeep.
fingerprints.
So it doesn't just clean it, it has kind of a protection on there
Yep.
that kind of like you would on a windshield where it beads off or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say windows, kitchen, that's going to be a focal point when you're selling a house.
Mhm.
So definitely, countertops, stainless steel appliances, even if they're not stainless steel appliances. I would say a stove is a big one that people look at.
Those are always dirty.
Yeah, the stove, the oven, things like that. And this will help protect it. So yeah, you're going to clean it, for your photo shoot to get the house listed.
Yeah.
But then you're always scrambling to clean, for the showings. You want the house show ready. Hopefully with this, you don't have to clean as much.
Yeah, no doubt. Anything that can make your job easier.
Yeah.
I also think of, I looked on your Facebook page and you show a before and after of a sidewalk that was very stained, which can happen for a variety of reasons, trees overhanging it or north side of the house or whatever. So having a driveway and a sidewalk that are sparkling, relatively speaking, I think would be huge for people walking
yes.
and wanting to buy
100%.
it. So
Yep.
while we're on real estate right now, talk a little bit about, like, you got into it, I believe, in 2021.
Yes.
So you got into it in like the weirdest market in my
Yes.
lifetime, certainly since we've been doing home inspections. Talk about what that's been like for you a little bit.
Yeah. So I started, at the height of COVID, and I don't want to say I didn't have to work for it, but I didn't have to try as hard to sell a house because they were selling themselves.
Right.
In a sense, I was so busy that's what was kind of hard for me, was to manage how busy I was. And then now the market has shifted a little bit. I would say it's still a seller's market, but with the high interest rates, it's obviously not as easy to sell. So we are seeing prices come down in houses, which is, I guess, a good thing.
Well, I think a lot of buyers have been waiting on prices to come down.
Right.
In general, they're not going to come down a ton,
Right.
but that rapid escalation for every house sale
Yes.
seems to have tapered off just a little bit.
Yep.
So tell us what you've learned the most in those 3 years of real estate, as far as either time management or
Yes.
helping buyers or sellers or whatever. What have you learned the most?
Well, the one thing that I've learned is I do love to work for first-time home buyers.
Okay.
So it's fun to watch, they love going to see all the houses. They don't know the process, obviously, as well as, experienced home buyers. So just being able to walk them through that process. And then with me being a newer agent, it kind of helps me as well to get familiar with the steps, because I'm helping them, but they're also helping me in a sense. But yeah, just the market and everything has been a complete difference from when I started to now. So just having to not only time management, but also money management. I went from a career, salary, very good salary based job, to then going to 100% commission. So we had to figure out as a family, okay, how are we going to do this, and still be able to pay bills and live. So,
Well, I can definitely relate to the energy that it takes to start a business.
yeah,
And essentially, it sounds like you started both your businesses at about the same time,
right.
about
Yeah.
3 years ago. I also read in doing some pre-game stuff here before our interview here, is how much family means to you. You got
Yes.
some kids, so talk about how you've balanced. I know as a guy, especially, I can't speak for Courtney, but we want to, when you start a business, you want to do the best you can all the time and keep growing it. And you want that business to rise or fall based on your performance. And so sometimes you have endless energy to contribute somewhere.
Yeah.
How do you balance where you spend that energy and time?
Well, I'll kind of kick that off and start it, because one thing that we didn't mention yet is between her getting ready to start real estate, working on the schooling and everything, we also started a painting business in between that.
Okay.
It went off well. So yeah, it became a lot all at once, and it was going great for a long time. And like you said, how do you balance? Well, finally got to a point. I hit that point a lot sooner than Courtney did, where I can no longer do all of this. I mean, I hit a brick wall. My stress levels, things like that, and it's not because we weren't successful. We weren't meeting the needs and the deadlines. It just
We were
because
too successful.
well, yeah, that's kind of a good way to put it. Too successful in the fact that we were doing a good job at what our respective services, and but then we started losing some of that time with our family, with our children, and we kind of started shifting that. We saw that hey, what are we doing here? Is it really worth climbing this ladder to this point? Just to have a little bit of money versus getting the memories and the time. And that became kind of a struggle. So we kind of scaled back on that aspect. And again, I brought it up earlier. I'm always running ideas and, nonstop recording. Hey, let's do this. We can do this. We'll figure it out.
Well, every company needs a visionary.
Yeah.
You're the visionary. You're the implementer.
Yeah.
Right.
So, we where we're at now, amongst all that, and yeah, going through those time constraints and how we're going to do this, we're still fighting that. And there's still times where we go back and forth, but because of now that we're 3 to 4 years of doing something consistently, we're learning how to manage that. So I think the greatest thing is that we are a team. We have our highs and lows, both at different times, but we come together so well, and we make a great team, and we keep things on the path. I mean, Courtney's great at keeping our daughter busy, doing things with her. I do miss out on some things that I wish I wouldn't, but that's because there's other things going on. But I also try to, make up for that. So she's really good at keeping that stuff rolling as I'm out here pushing things. But I'll tell you the coolest part about all these different businesses, all these different ventures that we've gone through is that our kids are so invested in what we're doing and learning at the same time that they don't feel like they're left out because, especially our daughter, because my son's not with us full time, but our daughter's with us full time. I can't tell you how many closings, showings she's been to, how many clients she's met of Courtney's. She's all about, making stains. Every time she gets a stain on her clothes or spills something, she's like, "It's okay. We have surgical strike. We'll be good to go."
Well, you still need to be careful.
Yeah. But like I said, even sometimes where you do lose a little bit of that, okay, I've got to regress a little bit and focus family. You're also building, an opportunity for that younger mind, in a sense, where they're learning from you too.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you can show them how to problem solve, even if it's not always the prettiest thing, sometimes they hear or see things that most people say, maybe kids shouldn't be involved. I disagree with that. I think they should be involved to a certain extent because they learn. And I just feel like in the next, 15 to 20 years, our daughter's going to be an entrepreneur too. She's going to see all these things that we've been doing and rolling, but with a good head on her shoulders and do it for the right reasons.
Right. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I love that. I mean, we had 3 kids when I started this business 20 years ago. They were roughly 5, 4, and 2.
Yeah.
And so they've seen it all. They've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of a home inspection company.
Yeah.
And
well, you have people to crawl in the crawl spaces in the attics.
But just as far as, my wife and I built it together, just like you're doing. And, what are you doing some nights at 10:30? Working on the business.
Right.
And then you look at yourself, it's like, what am I doing at 10:30 at night, every night, Right. So yeah, I completely understand that ongoing struggle, but I love your attitude toward it. You're bringing your family in on it, your kids in on it. Yeah, they've got it. You're either going to work for somebody in your life or you're going to do your own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's it going to be? You got a lot more control when it's you.
Right.
I used to be in the teaching profession. And one reason I didn't like it, besides the bratty kids, is I could do the same. I could do a great job and the guy next to me to do a terrible job and would get paid the same.
Yep.
And that didn't seem right.
Yeah.
And so I wanted something that would, if I did a great job at it, we would be rewarded with it. And so you guys, I mean, the fact that you're doing, I might have lost it. Do you still have the painting company?
No.
Okay.
No, we
that's gone.
Yeah,
So-
well, and not even 100%. So, like she said, real estate market shifts a little bit.
Mhm.
So we do open it up, sometimes, and Courtney will do a few smaller jobs.
Okay.
Because we didn't lose that idea that, hey, people still recommend us for painting. I mean, we had somebody call us the other day that we painted for, 2 years ago. Hey, can you guys still do this? And we said, yeah, absolutely. So if it's something feasible and manageable,
Sure. It's always a good backup there if you need it.
it's something that we can do. And that just kind of, again, it kind of talks to the fact that you were doing something and you were doing it well, that people still remember you.
Mhm.
And again, that's more important than profits sometimes. It's just that people respect you.
Definitely. No, I love how you're building these together. I know the sacrifice it takes, the constant communication, the the highs and lows.
Yeah.
It's people that don't build a business just don't understand it, and
Yeah.
so but it's rewarding too. You're to a degree, at least at some point in the future, your goal is you're setting your own schedule.
Yes.
Yeah.
To a degree. So let's touch on real estate again real quick. You said the market's changed a little bit. You specifically like to work with first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
So those that are listening to this or watching this, what can they keep waiting on the market they keep waiting on prices to just tank. Talk about how that's not going to happen and what they need to do first before they contact you to start looking at houses.
Yeah. I mean, we all wish that the interest rates would drop a little bit. That would be, king. But yeah, prices, they might continue to drop, but I would just suggest talking to a lender because we all have in our mind what we think, a mortgage payment is going to be. But until you actually talk to your lender, you're not going to know those specifics. I don't even know that part myself. So talk to a lender. If you need a lender, I can definitely set you up with a great team. I have several of them that I work closely with. But yeah, they can help you. I have lenders that do VA loans that specialize in FHA loans, if that's the route you have to go, or if you're a conventional buyer too. So.
All right. So you got all the bases covered on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing is that shock when they see what their mortgage payment could possibly be.
Right. And if you're paying rent and just throwing that money away and it's about the same amount, why not, cut costs somewhere else so that you own something?
Well, and also tell them about a neat little thing you do for first-time home buyers when they move in.
Oh, yeah. So first-time home buyers or any client of mine, actually, for the gift basket, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you want that to be a secret out
Oh,
there.
no. I mean, I give closing gifts. I try to make my closing gifts personal. So, I mean, as I'm working with my clients, I get to know them, what they like to do. Sometimes people are actually surprised if I remember certain things that they liked, and I tie that into the closing gift. But what I like to do now, because of the cleaning business, is tie in our cleaners. So you'll get, a couple bottles of cleaners with the closing gift. That way, when you buy your new house, you can clean it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think that's a great idea. When you move into a used house,
Yeah.
you want it to be your dirt
Yeah.
and not somebody else's.
Even brand new construction. I mean, there's dust and everything. So you're going to want to go in and clean it yourselves. I always tell him, I mean, we argue sometimes about cleaning our house. And I'm like, no, I like to do it my way. Because he'll be like, oh, I'll clean it. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'll do it.
I think I've had familiar conversations like that in my own house. So
Well,
we only have our own way.
I'll use another example. I've had friends, and we've had houses that were getting ready that she was going to list where they've had this old stain in the carpet that they just couldn't get out.
Yep.
So she'll say, hey, when somebody walks into this room and sees a stain, they're going to go, once they see the one, they're going to start looking everywhere and think something's going on here. And I always tell her, hey, go in there, take care of that stain for them. I know you're selling their house. It's not your job to clean it, but if I can take care of the stain for you to clear that up, then that's just going to add value in a sense.
Yep.
Because it takes that 10-year-old stain out. We've had professional carpet cleaners that have gone into homes, done their service. They do a great job, But I've had people call me and say, I still have a couple stains here that they just couldn't get out, which is understandable. That's
Right.
part of the cleaning business. I've ran into that, a lot myself. So I'm always like, well, here, try our stain cleaner. And I can't tell you, hundreds of people that have contacted me and said they couldn't get it out. I couldn't get it out. I tried everything on the market. Your cleaner is the only thing that could do it. Something I've been looking at for 15 years. I finally got it out.
Yeah.
And, sometimes for me, at least, that joy of somebody just being that happy about a stain
Oh yeah, that would
is
be
amazing,
awesome. Well, and this is not some late night infomercial with a paid spokesperson.
Yeah,
this is someone that's actually used it.
Yeah.
So I did have a question that popped in my mind, and I don't know if you've tested this, so you may not have an answer for me. But we had an incident in our house recently where somebody in our family, it wasn't my wife, I won't mention, came home and had bought some redwood stain. Set it on the garage floor with the thought to come out and get it later. Meanwhile, somebody else in our family decided to back the car out and ran over the redwood stain, exploded it onto the driveway.
Oh no.
And we now have redwood stain tire marks. We jumped out there and we sprayed it down as quickly as we could to dilute it and everything. You got anything that will take a nuclear blast? Will that take
so the nuclear
stains
blast,
out of concrete?
That's not so much the stain remover. That's kind of more of your overall like cleaner protectant.
Okay.
Surgical strike would be the way to go. I will say I haven't done a lot of stains, but stain as
like
in
wood
that,
stain.
It's not like a cosmetic or like a chemical stain.
Yeah, but I'll
Yeah.
tell you what. One thing that I do, and I do it for a lot of people, and I have done it, is I'll come out and I'll do the work to try to figure out how do we get this out of here.
Yeah.
So you let me know when you're ready, and I'll be over there, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be a great video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I haven't even tried anything else because I can't think of it. That driveway's taken a beating over the last 5 years because I also had dropped a can of white paint near the edge of it, and it has white paint on it too. So
the paint I know we can get.
Okay.
The stain, sometimes that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Just the chemical makeup, but hey, let's try it. I'm all in.
Let's do it. So real quick on mold. There's a lot of myths out there about mold removal, mold cleaning. As a mold remediator, I know that really you need to remove the mold. We're not just killing the stain. That's what bleach can do. It kills the stain, but it doesn't get the roots, and then it comes back and so forth. So talk about what this does specifically for mold and how it eradicates it.
Yeah, so kind of like we mentioned earlier, it's not just a cleaner. It's not just going to hit that surface. It's actually going to work deep down into whatever that stain, mold, algae, those different things are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a neutralizer, it's an inhibitor, it's a disinfectant. So not only is it going to remove that mold, but it will kill it on that surface. And even after you're done cleaning it, it'll continue to work in there. Again, we always bring this up because yes, there are a lot of cleaners out there. There's a lot of formulas that will work for things. We understand that. We know that there's good products out there. But on the non-toxic, substrate safe, on any surface, an environmental aspect, that's where the beauty is. You as a mold remediator, a lot of times you're gonna have to wear gloves and a mask and different things like that.
Yeah.
With our cleaner, it's not just because the mold, but your cleaner sometimes can eat into even your clothing, your gloves and stuff like that. You're breathing in those fumes.
Yep.
Our cleaner, I'm not even kidding you. I mean, you can spray this and wash your hands direct with it. One thing that I've done for people, and I'll do it here, is people said, if it's that great, drink it. So I go, here, bottoms up.
There we go, folks.
And it's not going to hurt me.
We didn't fill that with water before the show.
No, it's not going to cause a problem. It is safe. So, again, going to the mold remediation, that's going to work for you, and it's going to work better than most of the thing you're using on different aspects. So it's going to kill it, take care of it, but it's also going to help keep you safe at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's big. I wanted to bring you on today because, there's, like you said, there's hundreds of cleaning products out there that someone could try to sell, but because you're an entrepreneur, because you work together in this, because you're building multiple businesses at the same time, because you're using it for good outside of just making money.
Yeah.
Because it's safe. you know, you don't have to necessarily spot check it somewhere to make sure it's not going to bleach your whole
Yeah, exactly.
carpet or
Exactly.
anything. I can speak personally to the chemicals that we've used typically for mold remediation and what they can do to the skin if they get on there. And so it's refreshing. It's exciting to hear a product like this. And then you got awesome names that go with it. Surgical strike and nuclear blast. How can you top that? I don't know. If you come up with any other products, I'll be interested to see what we got going on.
We
there.
do have a third one that's in the works. That's going to take a little bit of time and work, but that's going to be a fun one too. We have a name. I won't release it, but it's going to be a good one.
It's in there. Okay. So if someone wants these products, are they available in stores or they need to contact you directly?
Yeah.
How do they do that?
So currently, again, we're starting up. So there's a lot of things to figure out. But I'm available pretty much 24/7. So my direct contact, we have it on our Facebook page. Our website is being built currently, and that's by somebody that we know closely. Again, per that business mindset that we're doing, we're trying to use people local. So my direct contact is my phone number 574-386-4209. You can message us through our Facebook page at CG Chemicals LLC. So you can direct contact from me. We make deliveries once in a while if it's within the area. Hopefully we're into a more of a retail side here soon. I have a few things that I'm working on to get to that point. But yeah, as of right now, just direct contact, let us know and we'll get you. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. We do ship anywhere in the U.S. currently.
Okay.
So, if you called me today and said, hey, my sister-in-law out in Las Vegas would like a couple gallons of it, we can do that.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're still building that, but pretty much direct contact us through our Facebook or my phone number. And
okay. So CG Chemicals LLC, and we already have your phone number. We'll have that stuff put on the screen.
Okay.
And let's see. I just went blank there for a minute, but. No, what I love about this, American made, you manufactured all in Elkhart, Elkhart County.
Yep.
And so can someone drive to your place of employment and buy it there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're off of Beardsley Avenue in Elkhart. It's 1650 West Beardsley Avenue.
Okay.
Again, I work at Z-Bart most of the time during the day, so it's in that same building. So you can come to us, again, contact me, just show up, whatever works for you. We always have stock ready to go. Again, we do the 16-ounce bottle. We do gallons, 5 gallons. And then, if anybody needs 55-gallon drums of it, we're ready to go.
Well, I can see for commercial purposes, that would be a valuable thing. I know back in the COVID era, they were looking for a certain product we used to sanitize stadiums.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you need some big big stuff for that.
Yeah.
So
we just missed out on that opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be big opportunities for both of you in the future. It's amazing how far you guys have come in your real estate company and the CG Chemicals. And it's great to meet you officially, professionally. I love promoting businesses that are local. I love the spirit that you guys have, the work ethic you have. I know you've created great value on this podcast today for entrepreneurs out there in balancing life and not giving up and so forth. So thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
I would highly encourage you. You have a cleaning need of any sort, give them a call. Check out their Facebook page. Go to their storefront on Beardsley Avenue, 1650 South.
West
Beardsley Avenue, and check their stuff out. Give them a call if you have a question about any of their products. Give Courtney a call if you got real estate needs. You want to buy a house, sell a house. She's got 3 years of experience in the weirdest market in history. I think she can handle anything. So we appreciate you watching today, and take care out there.